This is the Jeff Mayweather Show on the Mayweather Boxing Channel.
All right, man. Episode number 3 or
3 on the comeback.
Yeah, 3 on the comeback. The Jeff Mayweather Show.
Yes. Welcome to the Jeff Mayweather Show, Jeff Mayweather. Glad you could make it tonight.
Yes. Thank you.
Glad you finally got here.
Yeah. We only had the super middleweight
live.
champion of the world waiting for you.
I'm very sorry for being late.
You're on Mayweather time.
And you said the reason you were late is because you wanted to keep your card.
Yeah.
And what card is that, Jefferson, if you can elaborate for our listeners?
Yeah,
My
because
card.
All right. Jeff Mayweather Show wouldn't be the same without Jeff Mayweather. So the 47th greatest IBO champion of all time.
I'm steady going down, man.
No, that was a Ring Mag. I had you number 1. I told you. Ring Magazine had you 47th best.
Boy.
So, hey, at least you're in there, right?
Top 50.
Yeah,
And-
I made it.
And guys, behind, we told you last week that we had gotten rid of Amer, that Jeff had fired him, but there's a power struggle going on behind the scenes. So apparently Amer, for the moment, has control back, and he's back with us this
Always
week.
back. Always in control. Jefferson knows that. He knows better.
Yeah, I know better.
And Jeff tried a coup, and it didn't work.
How do you have a warm-up with short sleeves?
Huh? This ain't matching. They match the same color. That's all.
But is it supposed to be a warm-up?
No, see.
We're in Vegas.
What?
Never know what it might be.
What is this?
Let's go.
Is it sugar-free? I bet you it isn't.
I bet you it is.
Trident. Yeah, Trident is sugar-free.
Trident
all of a
doesn't
sudden.
pay us. We're not giving them any props.
Oh,
Let's
sorry.
introduce the guest.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm trying to figure out how to say his name, though. 'Cause I always thought it was Khalib.
Here we go.
Is it? Can you help me out here?
Yeah, it's Ibn al-Hajj, Ibn Bayt al-Plant, Caleb, al-Batal al-Alam Plant. The 168
I'll settle
pound,
for champ.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
168 pound super middleweight champion of the world, undefeated, best story in boxing, the most marketable guy in boxing, probably the most talented super middleweight, if not pound for pound athlete in boxing today, the one, the only, from Ashland, Tennessee, Caleb Sweet Hands Plant.
Thank you.
How was
Ashland
that
City.
for an intro?
It's Ashland City, but it's okay.
I think it looks like you're a truck
Man
driver in your
is
spare
never
time.
happy.
Right? I think he's a truck driver in his spare time. He's got the look going on. I like it.
I'm a man of many talents.
Yeah.
That he is.
All right. Well, hey, Caleb, fresh off your title defense here. How was it fighting in Nashville? I know that's got to be a big deal for you.
It went really well. Great turnout. The energy was great. As you see, the fight went well. So super happy. Great time. Great week.
Had a great national anthem to start off the event.
Yep. My wife, Jordan.
Did you know Jordan sang the national anthem
I
at the
actually
event?
missed it. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Jordan's in the house. You
She
can't
killed
see
it.
what she
Yeah.
All right. Good for you. How?
That's nice.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
That's awesome.
Yep. Oh, I didn't know that. That was new.
Look at that.
Yep.
I lived in Nashville for 6 years. I actually worked for the Titans and for the Predators, but boxing was not on the radar at all. I don't know if they ever even had a fight there.
Caleb's the 4th franchise now in Tennessee.
So is this something was this like a one-off for you, or is this you trying to bring boxing back or not back, I should say, establish it in Nashville?
Well, I definitely think from the first fight that we had there, I think, we found a new market. Like I said, a lot of people came out, a whole lot of people. The energy was great. The card was great, the undercard. Just the whole atmosphere throughout the whole night was electric, really. So I definitely, I know for a fact we'll be coming back sooner than later.
I know Feigenbut's hard to say the name there, but I know he was taking a couple shots at you for your crowd there, but I think they kind of stood up and showed different.
Hostile territory, so, make sure you're prepared.
Did you feel any more, your second defense, but, third title fight, did you feel any different fighting in front of the crowd as far as nerves and that kind of thing?
Honestly, I've never been in front of a crowd that was that loud and hostile or whatever you want to call it. And from the ring walk to the final bell, everybody was, stayed pretty loud. So it was a good experience to, be in a crowd that was that rowdy and that loud and that hectic, for me to, put that in my back pocket and carry that experience with me to, bigger and better fights. So
Man, stop downplaying it. It was awesome.
You were there.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, it was
Nashville's
awesome.
your second home.
I watched it on television. It was awesome.
It was awesome. And you know what? TV didn't pick up the electricity in the arena. That was just unbelievable.
Yeah, that was going crazy.
But did someone tell you to press on the gas that last round? That because it was like you were pretty much beating the guy easy, but still at that last round, it seemed like somebody said, "Hey, we want to finish this fight."
No, nobody really told me that. They don't. My corner doesn't really push too hard. They kind of let me, do what I think is best in that moment, and kind of got me through it. But I knew a couple rounds before that, I could see him start to, mentally he was staying in there, but at the same time he was starting to physically fade. I knew in a couple rounds I'll be able to jump on him, and he won't have the heart to keep me off of him. And in that moment I thought, yeah, this is the time he's not going to be able to. Once I jump on him, that'll be it. So
I always make fun of people that yell in the crowd.
You could just stop right there. I always make fun of people.
Yes, I do.
Period.
Random people yelling out instructions. Hit him in the head. But you listen. But I know that this guy's out there screaming like a
what?
Like a girl.
like a girl,
Like a
mom,
girl?
like something.
Like a girl.
Can you hear a mayor shouting out instructions when you're in there?
It's more like screaming. Yeah. No, at that fight, I really couldn't hear too much of, outside noise. I could barely hear my corner, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was just so loud in there. Like he said, the TV couldn't really pick up the energy, and it was really electric. They was going crazy. So for the most part, during the round, I really couldn't hear too much in my corner, just a little bit here and there. But I was getting really good instruction between rounds, and also I'm a pretty seasoned guy. I've been doing this for a minute, so I knew what to do for the most part. And we had already established a game plan throughout camp, so we were on top of it.
So 3 fights in now is in championship fights, 2 defenses, 1 when you won the title.
2 knockouts.
Do you feel different? I mean, do you carry yourself different going into the ring? I mean, do you feel like a different fighter? Like you kind of went from the hunter to the hunted, right? Do you feel different? Do you carry yourself differently in the ring?
No, and I can't. It's nothing against you, but I just don't like when people say that. Like to me, I can't really stand that.
Say what? Say what? I missed that.
That you went from the hunting to the hunted. Who said that I went from hunting to the hunted? Who said that? I didn't say that. I still feel like I'm hunting. I have 20 fights. I don't feel like I say this all the time too, so I'm sure people, if they listen to other interviews, they may have heard this, but I'm just at the base of the mountain. I'm not at the peak. But Caleb, it would be so foolish of me to think that, I'm not hunting anymore.
No, it is that you're hunting, but you're also in a very coveted position in that you're one of the major 3, call it 4 if you count the WBO, major titles in the world.
And the IBO.
I said 4 major. 5. No, but
top 50.
That does make you hunted in that sense. In that sense, I mean, everybody wants that strap, and you've got one of the major 3.
Yeah.
So in that sense, but I understand your mentality.
But I don't think of it like that.
Right. And nor can you.
I'm not thinking about people who are coming after me. That's for them to think about, and they better be thinking about it. Mm-hmm. For me, I think about, my goals, my aspirations, and, it was just a goal to become a world champion. It was not the goal. So there's much more to obtain and, get and work for. So
I love that line. That's a great one.
Which one? Boxing is a sport.
I hope you don't use it.
Business disguised
Boxing is a business disguised as a sport. I trademarked that.
Frank threw it in for you last week, though.
You know what? I was about 20 minutes into it. Mike Hunter put me to sleep. I had to keep fast forwarding through Mike. Mike, you got to wake up when you talk, man. I'll talk to Mike about that.
He's relaxing. So you've had a busy year, man. It's been a little crazy for you. A couple of things happened. Got your, it was still last year, right? A little over a year since you won your first title, but got married.
What a fight that was. Woo! Yeah. Sorry, was that my promoter hat?
That was your
but promised no promoter.
I mean, it was.
Amazing.
It's the most watched FS1 boxing match of all time. The highest views was like 300 something.
And how much did the fight in Nashville get?
Oh, I'm going to get to that.
Uh-huh.
986,000, on FS1, when before that, the top views was 300, 400,000. I fight Mike Lee, that's 1.4. And then I fight at Nashville, that's 1.8. I'm doubling my views in 1 year. I think I'm off to a good start.
But 1.8 is massive.
Yeah.
When you won that title, you're one of the most extremely confident people I've met. And every boxer says it, but I really feel it when you say everything you say that you believe 100%. But did that kind of piss you off? How nobody, I shouldn't say nobody, but a lot of people, especially the casual boxing fan, gave you little to no chance against Uzcategui. How much did that piss you off and drive you even more if it did?
No, it didn't piss me off. I think, something like that would only piss somebody off if it was true. And I knew for a fact in my heart that, because I was reading it, I'm the type of person, I don't just sit around all day on social media, but I do see some of the comments and, some of the headlines and articles and YouTube videos and stuff when I'm just studying and researching, looking around. And I was seeing it, and I was taking note of it. And but no, it didn't piss me off because I knew come fight night, I was going to finally be able to properly introduce myself to the world as, the top 168 pounder. So,
and ultimately, the people picking aren't fighting, right?
Right.
So.
But that was one thing. Jordan says that all the time. Like when I make fun of Caleb, and we have a group chat sometimes, and she's like, he means every word he says, and he does. Very passionate about it, but he's always been that way. And sometimes that comes off as maybe arrogance, overconfidence, very ambitious, but he really does believe that stuff in his heart.
Well, you see that all the time when someone says, I'm the greatest, or I'm the best, or I can beat anybody. Fans are like, oh, he can't really think. You better think that, right?
Yeah,
you
but no, he genuinely
he does.
Yeah.
But you need to think that. You can't think, well, I'll probably get my ass kicked in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of ambition, but it's also good to be, a self-aware man and where you stand in comparison to the rest of the world or whatever, it is that you do. And, I'm a seasoned. I'm seasoned. I'm going to go national champion. I'm Olympic ultra, and I got over 100 wins, in the amateurs, almost 120. And I've been doing this for a long time. And then if you put some of the other things that I've battled through and came out the other side with my chin up, I truly know who I am. I look in the mirror and I've had to, find out who I really am and see how strong I really am. And going through those and coming out the other side with my hand raised, it gives me the confidence that, I really just don't think that there's anybody else in the 168-pound division who, is willing to go as far as I am.
Jeff, I know this young lady over here off camera there. No coincidence that she came around when he started doing all this stuff, right?
Oh, my God.
Jordan
you ain't gonna
Hardy Plant.
You're not putting me on the spot this time.
Dirty.
I mean,
Dirty.
there he was just floundering away, and then all of a sudden they hook up, and he's world champion. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's the Jordan.
I think that a good woman is what escalates you. It's what elevates you.
Jordan's the cheat code.
The cheat code.
Yeah. No, I think it, she's definitely an important part. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sound cheesy or anything, but, she does a lot. This has grown to be a multi-million-dollar business that we're running. And she's a huge part of that. And I wouldn't be doing it this easy, if it wasn't for her. So,
Jeff, you never had a woman when you were fighting.
Cheesy.
You never had. See, that's what you screwed up.
What?
You never had anybody when you were.
I had a lot of women. What you talking about? I wasn't focused like him.
Alrighty then. Are you worried? Are you worried about this coronavirus thing? Like maybe you'll. Well, first of all, the gyms, right? They're not. They're.
I'm watching you fist bump everybody.
that's just what I wouldn't read too deep into that, I'm not going to get the coronavirus. Man, I'm a superhero.
What about
There it is.
No, but I'm thinking about
just-
fighting in arenas empty. Like you said about the buzz in Nashville, I'm sure you fed off that. What if you fight in an empty arena? Would that bother
I'm
you?
not going to fight in an empty arena. Yeah. Not Nashville.
Man, this thing is really getting serious,
Promise
though.
you that.
I don't know how, 50, 60,000 people a year die from the flu anyway. I'm not sure if this is, this is a different strand of a flu. I don't really
Well,
get
it is, but it's got a
It's
fancy
made
name.
from bats.
How long has the
Right.
coronavirus been around?
a long time.
It's been a long time.
A long time?
How many rolls of toilet paper do you have in your house right now, Jeff?
Wait, is there a toilet paper shortage?
Well, there is now. Well, no, everyone's got plenty of it. They're buying it all.
Damn, I should have invested.
Jeff cleared out Costco.
I don't even
He don't go to Costco. He's Walmart.
Yeah, you right.
Don't you
I
see
don't
these
care.
videos with these people buying,
No.
10 years worth of toilet paper
I'm
and
so removed from
And
that.
water?
I'm not watching any of that.
water? Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't know, man. I hope everybody, it's
So you're not,
unfortunate, but
No,
I don't
no one's
buy in.
prepping?
Huh?
Are you prepping for that?
Look, wash your hand. Don't let anybody sneeze on you. I think you should be good, right?
It'll be over with after the election.
Yeah, well, no, you
You're
see the thing
probably
every
right.
election, they have a new...
They have a miraculous discovery.
I've never known a single person that had SARS or the pig flu or the coronavirus. I've never known anyone that's known anyone. Have you?
No.
I think, it's something like that comes up every... Khalib.
Mir look like you got the bird flu though, mad cow disease or something.
The one thing that he's not really good at is cracking jokes. I mean, his game is getting better. It's getting better. It's just he's still still a spoon trying to play a knife game. He'll get there
Yeah, I'll get there one day.
someday.
All right,
Still
so
wet behind the ears.
we got 2 defenses. When are we going to have a name for the next fight?
Still looking now. I'm pushing for big fights. I want to have a unification fight, but I was tied up on my mandatory at first, and if you don't fight that person, everyone knows the IBF is the strictest when it comes to mandatories, and so it's either fight him or get stripped of my world title, which is everything I've worked for. So, but I'm free and clear now, so I'm looking to make big fights. Looks like some other people are getting tied up as now, tied up with their own stuff. So I don't know, but I have no names right now. Still just sitting back playing the field. So.
I know you explained it, but not everybody watches every form of media and seen it. You caught some grief with the Canelo thing, right? Saying you didn't want to fight Canelo, and you gave your reasons why. Because a lot of fighters will consider that their lottery, right? If you get Canelo or Floyd or something, that's your meal ticket. Props to you for saying if you're not going to be at your best, you're not worried about the money. But explain a little bit the thought, because people saying you had enough time for a proper training camp, why you didn't want to take that fight.
Well, it's not that you don't have enough time to have a proper training camp, because
or the in-between time.
At a world title training camp is 8 weeks, but it's not enough time to rest from the training camp that I just had, and then get in whatever amount of shape that I would need to. It's not the fight that I need rest from, because like everyone was saying, I didn't take that much punishment during the fight. But most of the time, it's not the fight that you have to rest from. It's the training camp. All the sparring rounds that goes into it.
2 a
all
day
the miles,
workouts.
sometimes 3 a days. Half the 6 days a week. 3 of those is 2 a days. 3 of those is 3 a days. Strength and conditioning, all the weightlifting, and the away from your family, being abstinent. Whatever it may be. There's a lot that goes into a training camp, and just coming off 8-week camp and a 5 or 6 week pre-camp, and everything I did before that. Need to give my body a rest. And, people say, well, Andy Ruiz did it. But Andy Ruiz wasn't a world champion. He was in a position, I've solidified myself as a world-class fighter, with a dominant performance to win it from a legit world champion. And then 2, outstanding performances to defend it. And so I'm not Andy Ruiz, and he doesn't have to make weight either. So, when I do my camp, anyone who knows me, it's 100% discipline. And, there is no, he didn't train very hard, or he didn't get with his trainers to, I'm all in. And I had just done that. So I'll be fighting in the fall. And I really don't care who it is, because, I'm a 7-figure fighter myself. So I'm not in a desperate situation where I have to just jump on any lame offer that's thrown my way. I'm someone who's going to be taken serious. So it's not like I'm trying to price myself out, where it was a secondary guy who was just talking to someone on my team. They never even sent an offer, so there was nothing to outprice, because, we weren't even talking about money. I'm not trying to outprice myself, but, I'm not going to be just, jumping on anything.
That was the right move, man.
Absolutely.
Well, you need a mental break, right? I mean, you can't.
Yeah, that's the thing is these guys.
I work out
talk
once
about-
every 3 months, and I need a
Of course,
break.
you
Look at Tevin Farmer. He's a great fighter, but he's fought like 4 or 5 times, and he's always talking about how he hasn't taken any breaks or any rest. His last fight against Joseph Diaz, hats off to Joseph Diaz. That's another fighter I really like. But he did look a little flat.
Yeah.
He looked real flat against Joseph Diaz. And then, I don't know about with Deontay Wilder, him just fighting Luis Ortiz and then turning right back around and fighting Fury. That was a quick turnaround as well, and he looked flat from the first round.
Mhm.
So, there's nothing new under the sun. The rules of boxing, used to, when they used to fight more frequently, everyone was doing it. It wasn't just one person. But they stopped that,
That's a good point.
and they stopped it for a reason.
No, at the end of the day, you don't
You know.
prostitute yourself. Like you said, you're in a great
Yeah.
position. You're in a great position right now, and a very coveted position. And just timing's got to be right.
But I'm not against fighting Canelo, and I want to fight Canelo. It's I'm not jumping on the money. If I was just in this for the money and a payday, then I would have jumped on this opportunity. But, you know, the fans, they get mad when fighters do it for money and fame. And then when they have a fighter right here saying that they're not going to do it for the money, then they get mad at that as well, you know? So
Do you think that money aside, circumstances aside, is that a fight that you need to have at some point?
I'm not going to say that I need, but it's a fight that I would want, that I really want. And I think the fans and I think the sport of boxing, with just besides the fans, the sport of boxing deserves a fight like that. So that's something that I definitely want. You know, anyone has met me and been around me for any amount of significant time knows I'm not scared of anybody. So
Because he's like the biggest name in boxing, really.
Of course, he is the biggest name in boxing.
So to be able to take him out, and you basically,
I still can't understand this warm up you got on.
Why?
Is it a warm up or is it a shirt?
It's a warm jerk.
this might be a.
Why is it a short? Why is it a short sleeve?
Would a basketball player have? Because
I don't think they have short sleeves.
Man, it's my.
Oh, maybe you got.
Can I have
Michigan.
my own style?
Yeah,
you got that.
No.
Yeah, man.
You got some beard. You got little whiskers going on too.
Man, are you noticing the gray hairs?
I know.
Where?
I've never noticed them. What do you
They're
wear?
right there. There's a bunch of them.
Where?
I got some too.
I never noticed that before.
Me either.
So Jeff, what do you think? You train world champions. What do you think about him? Saying, "Hey, I just had this long training camp, had a fight. I need that break, that mental break. I got to get out and take some time off. I know you still train a little bit, but yeah, obviously de-escalate for a while and then get back before you get back into a full camp."
Nah, well, I mean, me, myself, always said that you have to have balance. You need just as much rest as you work hard, in the sport. Because, I mean, you go through a lot in boxing, And like I said, I always say that. I even tell my fighters, I always tell them that you have to balance, And that's like not just going out, just killing yourself. Just like even in training, I tell the person not to just go out and just work, because a lot of people do that only because they think that's what Floyd does. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of younger fighters that come up and that's what they do. They go out and they just work. Don't realize that resting is just as important as working hard. Yep. You got to balance.
You and Amir have been in the gym and been like, man, you sure are hitting the bag really hard for it to be this far away from your fight.
Yeah.
You should slow down.
I asked you that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We talked about that before. And in that sense, I'm kind of someone who does have to be pulled back because I like to be in the gym all the time. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to take a rest first before I get back in the gym and really I really go every day, you know what I'm saying? But you still have to rest, even scientifically, you have adrenal glands. You drain those through, doing certain activities. And you could go into a fight flat and then wonder why, I see the punches, but I'm not getting out of the way of them. It's because you're flat. You got to rest.
So what do you do right now when you're not in a camp? I know you're still in the gym. So what is a typical week?
Right now I'm taking, we do stuff like interviews or, we're doing a lot of business stuff right now, getting some things in order, setting up our future.
You get much
but, right now I'm not really in the gym, but looking to start back this coming up week. Actually, me and my coach have been talking about that. So, I'll probably be creeping back into the gym this coming up week. I've rested. We've been traveling some, but my weight's good. I'm only like 180 pounds. I'm like 12 pounds from weight right now. Just, trying to be healthy and stay active even if it's not in the boxing gym. So
beautiful.
How did you meet Khalib?
Khalib? Caleb Ibn Plant? Floyd.
Just two white guys hanging out in the gym and
we had our own white corner.
It was small.
Yeah. No, actually, I remember the exact conversation I had with him. We were in Floyd's gym. I was getting ready for the Intercontinental World Title fight. That was 2012, 13, 14. And he was there working out. And I don't know, we just started talking. I said hello. He said hello. And just started talking about some things. And I introduced myself. He introduced himself. And I don't know how we started talking about it, but we started talking about his daughter.
He asked me something about kids, fighting kids.
Yeah. And man, I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I think that's one of my biggest assets that I have. I go by my gut feeling. I hate to use the word because I'm very secure in my manhood, but I loved the kid like immediately. I genuinely did. I think I just walked away from the conversation. I think it hit me that hard. But and again, I think that's what makes Caleb's story so phenomenal. I'm going to say a story, and you might have even forgotten the story. We were doing one of our, remember our family nights? We were doing a family night down. We went to go see a movie downtown, and we had gone to dinner before. And this was back during the time where I had more money than Caleb. No, I'm just joking. I always have more money than Caleb. But anyway, what I'm saying,
Those days are gone.
But and we had gone to dinner, and I remember he asked for a box so that he could have lunch for the next day. And when a fighter comes up and they're not struggling, but they were going through it. If you're fighting once, twice a year and you're not making huge money, you have to, really account for every single meal. So I knew that was his lunch for the next day, and there was a lot left. And I remember we were going to the movies, and we were going down to old downtown Vegas. And there was a woman sitting on the curb, and you could tell she was poor. And he got out and he gave her his food, and he had a couple of some words with her, and he came back and he just kind of stared at her and he said, "Man, nobody knows what it's like until you've been there." And I never mentioned it to you before, but that was such a judge of who he was to me, and he never forgot where he came from. And to this day, he doesn't forget where he came from. Like he said, he's a 7-figure fighter, and he's a big 7-figure fighter.
Not a 7-figure giver, though.
Not a 7-figure giver. And he always remembers where he came from. I used to get text back within 2 hours. Now it's like 2 weeks and I'm good.
I know how that is.
That's the only thing that changes.
Or sometimes not at all. I know how that is.
No, so I have to send the emoji afterwards, like the sleeping emoji, and then oh yeah, hey, yeah,
That's talking about me. That's all right.
Yeah.
How important is that to
But never forgot where he came from. That was my point.
We had the discussion about Andy Ruiz and maybe he had always had something fighting for him, and then he got it, and then he laid an egg in the rematch. The story here, the promise that you made to your daughter, this kind of stuff, the build up to the title. How important is it for you to remember those things, where you came from, the promise you made, the stuff you did when you struggled, as opposed to now when you're not worried about your next meal or your meal for the next day. You're more comfortable. How hard is it and difficult and important is it for you to remember that?
People say, "Oh, it's kind of hard for me to forget where I came from." There's a lot of things that's happened, a lot of good. Some things that weren't so good, and certain events happen. It's hard for you to forget about those things. Especially during camp, you wake up. It's time to go to work. It's like it's the first thing that's on my mind. And at the foot of my bed, I have this big, high definition. It's like this big, high definition IBF belt. It's like that thick too, and I put it on the wall. That way, every night before I go to sleep and every morning when I wake up, it's the last thing that I see. And just, remember the mission that I'm on. I've come a really long ways. I've sacrificed a lot. I've dedicated my whole life to this sport, literally through any and everything. And, it's not something that you're just going to be able to walk in and take away from me, If Andy Ruiz got what he wanted and that's why he slacked up, I'm not even close to getting what I'm wanting yet. So that's why, I haven't let up.
Jeff, the prime example is always Floyd, right? The people that talk about he seemed to work harder after he won a title. Explain what he was like growing up before he had anything, before he won the Olympics or the bronze in the Olympics, or when he first started pro to where he was afterwards.
Well, basically, just hard work was always instilled in him. I don't care. Even when he was Floyd was maybe 5 or 6 years old, he would be running around Grand Rapids. People thought that he was just some stupid young kid. But they didn't realize that his dad was driving the car and he was following the car. And he would probably run 6 or 7 miles. So you would see him in all parts of the city. And people was and then people didn't know what he was doing or anything. And then eventually, once they realized that was that young kid that was doing all that running, and then they seen what he became. And so, and then they understood it.
It's just crazy how, though, he never lost that work ethic. Now, if he was 5 or 6 and his dad wasn't around, I'd have gone and kicked his ass because it's probably the last time I could have done it, right? And say, I beat up Floyd back in the day.
I think
you can't beat Floyd in his sleep.
Well, I said when he's 5 or 6. I don't know. Once you get 8, he's probably too much for me.
Maybe.
just barely. What's it? So he was talking about you two being white guys in the gym.
Yes.
What was it like? You ever felt out of place or different? Because obviously there's not as many white guys in the gym, whether it be Floyd's gym or other gyms, growing up, or obviously now you're world champion, so you're looked at as such. But you ever had problems or have to kind of prove yourself? Or
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for the most part, I kind of felt, at least coming up as in the amateurs, I didn't see myself as such, but I felt like I could feel the people around me kind of, maybe they look at me as like an outsider, like I really didn't belong, but once I started to like establish myself, I won the Golden Globe Nationals, and then, other tournaments that I did well at, they started to accept me more. Not that I was looking for it, but, they started to like, okay, well, Caleb, he can fight, he...
Yeah, but I mean, look, let's not let's not discount it. White guys usually don't do well in boxing.
right,
It just doesn't happen.
especially not American.
Right. And when I say white guys, I'm not talking about the European guys, the Russians. I'm talking about the American white guys. When was the last one? Kelly Pavlik? Tommy Morrison? I mean, where...
But to me, I've never really thought about that stuff. It's not something I've really taken into account.
You haven't.
Yeah.
You haven't. But when they say to me, because I've heard it, that white boy can fight.
Mhm.
That's different. You might not know it, but that's how everybody classifies you. And you are in a minority. In boxing, you are the minority.
Yeah. No.
100% you are.
No, I definitely am. But
And
I
I
don't
think that's why you're one of the highest paid guys in boxing, is because of that marketability. When you're talking about 1.8 million people watch your fight, Caleb, I mean, that's not, when you look at it from the business part of it, that's not a normal number. There's a lot of America that cheers for you. And it has to do with your complexion. It has to do with your story. And it does have to do with your boxing. But there's a lot of great boxers out there. Your story and who you are is the reason why. And I know that sometimes that might be a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, but that is the truth.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm definitely a minority in the sport. It's not like I walked around unaware of, the situation that I was in. But, for all those people to tune in, I hope, people of all color are tuning in and seeing me and being like, maybe, oh man, he can fight for a white boy or whatever they may say. They can see that regardless of my color or where I'm from, like you said, I'm not from the biggest, Tennessee isn't like the mecca of boxing. No matter where you're from or what ethnicity you are, what religion you may practice, that, you're not bound or shackled to that, and you can set out to become whoever it is that you want to become.
That sounds great. That sounds great. And yeah, you want people to look at it that way. No, but it's not the real thing, because the real thing, Caleb, is you're a white boy that can fight and holds a world title. That's what people look at. You'd like to think that it's a great fighter, but you're the white guy that has charisma, that you can talk better shit than most guys can, if not every guy can.
This is what I'm interested
I
in.
laugh listening to you.
Yeah.
This is what I'm interested in.
So you just got to mean what you say. You just say it. It's got to be real. It's got to be factual.
That is the truth. The truth is that you are a white world champion, and I know that the race thing is very sensitive, but it is part of the marketability.
That's where I'm interested, because we just had the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder thing, and Deontay said that Black History Month, this is my thing, and then Fury, hey, it's not my thing. I'm not making this racial. You won the title from a Hispanic person. At some point, though, do you think this is going to come into play when you fight, a top African-American fighter or someone that doesn't look like you? Or are you worried, or how are you going to handle that if and when race does come into play, like hardcore in one of your fights?
I mean, but I've been this color my whole boxing career.
But when the fans, it's basically it's
different, man. When you're under the spotlight, now you're really scrutinized of who you are.
I mean, do you appreciate the way Tyson Fury handled that, or would you handle it differently, or how would you?
I mean, how he handled it, that's just how he handled it. Mm-hmm. I beat up many different ethnicities and many different sizes.
Right, but you don't look at it. You look at it, I beat up guys. I beat up other fighters. You don't look at it, I beat up
It's almost all the crowd. It's
but
the
with
fans.
him asking me, his question, I don't really look at it like that. I just see that
Exactly. You don't
Because
look
to
at it
me,
that way.
it don't matter what he is, what color he is, he can't beat me. It doesn't matter what religion he practices, he can't beat me.
Jody,
it doesn't
until
matter
you-
where he's from, he can't mess with me.
But if you look like it's such a fan-driven thing,
course
that's
it
where
is.
they're
Yeah.
going to make it that.
Until you told me about the whole Fury Wilder thing, I looked at it as two heavyweight champions fighting. I never looked at it as the black guy fighting during February,
It was-
African American month. I never looked at it that way. Black
African
History Month.
American month. What is that?
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Okay,
Black
well,
History
you better
Month.
be
Black
said
History
then.
Month.
Chump.
So
Say
Jeff,
it right.
so Jeff gave the opinion that he thought the gloves, if his hands were down there, it could
What'd he
help
say?
him. No, that's what Jeff said. He said they thought they could help him. That was his opinion. And then all of a sudden, he's racist. He's all these horrible
Racist
things.
against who? Against
white people, and he's down for Deontay and all that kind of thing. So then we do a video where people saying, no, it didn't help Fury. Then all of a sudden, Jeff's an Uncle Tom. Jeff did
Yeah,
in the video.
last I heard was he was
Jeff's
Uncle Tom, so I don't know where you're coming from.
Uncle Tom's cabin.
Uncle
No, but
Tom's, yeah.
going back to the Fury Wilder thing, it was two heavyweight champions that fought. It had nothing to do with race. It was two
But
heavyweight
Deontay
champions that
said,
fought.
but remember Deontay in the press conference
Yeah, I was
made
there.
it racial, and then Tyson's like,
Oh, did he?
yeah, and then Tyson's like, I don't care. It's not about
Yeah,
that for
yeah,
me.
yeah. I mean, even
That's how I feel. I don't. That's something I never wanted to focus on because it was used against me so much. I wanted it to be about that. It doesn't matter what color you are. You can become
and that's
whatever
how it should be.
you can become. Whatever you set out to be. Oh, you're the world champion. What do you do? UFC? No, I'm a boxer. I can. Just because I'm this color doesn't exclude me from being able to be the best or be a world champion or be legendary.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
What color's the mayor, Jeff?
Palestine.
Oh, you racist.
Palestine.
I said African American month. That's very close to Black History Month.
Palestine.
It ain't Black History Month.
Well, African American
It
is
was
not black.
last month.
Ain't no
Yeah.
such thing as African American.
Okay, fine. I said African American. You said okay. Palestinian. What is that?
That what you are.
That's what you are.
God.
You're
Imagine
Palestinian.
if we weren't friends for
You're
10 years.
Palestinian.
Imagine if we just met.
What are you?
Palestinian.
Oh, Palestinian.
You're not Blake.
I'm
You're
just-
black.
Now,
Okay.
Blake.
African.
Did he ever
You're
tell you?
African.
Did
What
he
is
ever
he?
tell you?
Huh?
What is he?
Cracker.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Straight cracker.
Yeah, Cracker Jacks.
Did he ever tell you the story about losing to Saddam Hussein's son
Oh,
in
God.
kickboxing?
Yeah, kicked him in his face.
Jeff, why are you always the tagline? The last episode we had, that was your tagline as soon as he said it. Every time he brings it up, it's always kick him in his face.
So most people don't. You didn't start as a boxer, right? So tell us.
Kickboxer.
That's what I was gonna say. So explain to people that don't know. I'm sure 95% of people think you're a straight boxer. You didn't start that way.
I mean, he is a straight boxer.
Yeah.
Well, straight, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he is. I think so. He married too.
being a smartass is my job here, Marino.
Sorry, my apologies.
But yeah, I started off. I started training when I was 9, doing like just little martial arts and stuff like that. And then I started kickboxing shortly after, right after that. And then when I was kickboxing, I wanted to start doing boxing matches as a kid too. And my dad wanted me to, just to kind of like help me with my kickboxing. As soon as I started to like fall in love with that more and just be infatuated with it really and start to study and learn more about it. And then, as I got older, I really started to just focus on boxing more and more and more until, when I was 17, that was like my last kickboxing match. But
Was Richie your kickboxing trainer?
yeah, he's been my trainer from the get-go.
Does he know how to kick?
I mean, he can get back to the car safe if need be.
What? Is he a martial artist?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Richie meaning your brother.
His father.
Or father, excuse me. Yeah, father.
But in kickboxing, I got 5 world titles and 9 national titles. I fought on Team USA in Trinidad, Team USA in Italy. I was the first 16-year-old to ever win an adult national IKF title and the first 17-year-old to ever win an adult IKF world title against the UK when I was 17.
It's a big title.
So Jeff, in his prime, who wins in their primes, Caleb or Amer in kickboxing?
It's not even close.
Exactly. I appreciate you saying
Keep
that.
our mouth shut.
We'll just agree on that. It wouldn't even be
both did
close.
kick me.
Did you do that?
I would have do what Saddam Hussein's son did. I kicked him right in his
Oh my
face.
Kick him in the face.
He'd try.
Did you do the full contact garbage stuff?
It
or
was
did you
a-
do the? Oh wait, if
The
you
what?
were
The
that,
what? No. The what? I didn't hear what you were saying.
The very skilled one, not the one where you can just kick somebody in the legs.
Yeah,
the one
the-
where you have to kick above the
Yeah,
waist.
kick above the waist, no clenching, no knees, no
Oh
elbow.
wow!
Oh, you did that.
Oh, well, I'm sorry,
American.
Jody. What was that?
Oh, that was the tough guys.
It's
did
like
it.
amateur
Yeah.
boxing basically, but you got to throw 6 kicks above the
It's the
waist.
only thing him and I have ever agreed on. Exactly. It used to be 8 kicks a round.
Why didn't
And
you
then
ever
they
give him on
changed
one of your cards, man?
Caleb?
You should
I
do
wish
that
I would have
now.
known about him back then.
You should make a one-off.
Hardest thing out there.
American kickboxing is the most skilled kind of kickboxing. It's boxing, and then you have to kick above the waist. Anybody can kick in the leg. Jeff can kick in the leg. Just to give you an analogy of what kicking in the leg is.
Do you think one of the best kickboxers in the world, a Glory, or say if someone from Glory could come into a full contact fight and follow those rules and win?
Of course.
I did a couple of those before, though, like 1 or 2.
Yeah, I fought a couple of K1 fights, a couple of Muay Thai fights.
But that was when I was a kid. I was younger. At 17, I was like, okay, I just want to focus on boxing now. And there's no money in kickboxing, so
Well, I was going to ask that.
You
Money
aren't
aside, do you like kickboxing more or boxing?
boxing. As soon as I started, shortly after I started kickboxing, then shortly after that, I started boxing. I was like, man, I really love this boxing.
When you started, was it like a necessity kind of thing? I remember that video of you street fight that I
Oh,
seen
shit,
years ago.
I
And
seen
kind
Oh
of
yeah, I seen that too.
Busted his ass, didn't he?
But was that like a necessity thing? Because you fighting a lot on the streets or at the time?
I mean, no, it's not like I had an issue with that. Unfortunately, I've been in a couple of situations, but
I heard you were in more than a couple of situations because I heard a situation that happened at the gym that you and I need to discuss.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
I heard someone got slapped in the gym the other day.
not the other day.
Oh, okay, so good.
Yeah, it was a minute ago.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't like something. Well, oh, he fights a lot. My dad did it when he was younger. It was pretty natural for him to want to introduce me to that, and I just told this story. Might have been yesterday, but he opened up a little gym and it didn't even have a ring. Really small gym. It just had tape on the floor in the shape of a ring, and we had one heavy bag hanging from the ceiling, and but that's where it all started. So.
Wow. Humble beginnings, man. Look at this now. Millions every single fight. Beautiful wife, beautiful cars, beautiful house.
Oh, and my 64
Yeah, you
Super
said something about a
Sport.
car. What is
is almost done. So be on the lookout for that.
64 Super Sport?
Yeah,
What
low
kind
rider.
of- Is that a?
It's like a classic car.
Something white people drive.
But is it like a Camaro Super Sport or whatever?
Yeah, it's
it
an
is?
Impala.
Oh, an Impala.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't stop making the Impala last year. That's cool, man. So is it one of them big, massive?
It's a pretty good size.
Yeah, those are cool. The convertible?
Yeah.
You have hydraulics on it?
Not
Did it
yet,
bounce? Yeah, that's cool.
but it will.
No.
I'm gonna put it in the Las Vegas Super Show
Oh my
this year. Lowrider magazine.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, look out for all that.
Jeff, you can be one of the models in the Lowrider magazine for his car.
But you got to wear that thing you got on.
See? Is it not? Does it make sense?
What does it mean to make sense?
It doesn't make sense. If it's a warm up, it should be long sleeve.
No, because you wear it just long enough to warm up. Then
Have you ever seen somebody have a hoodie? It was with short sleeves.
Yes.
girls.
Okay, then what's the difference?
There's a big difference. That's a warm up jacket, and it's not a jacket. He has a warm up top, so the guys.
But your arms are still out.
Yeah, your arms are still out,
Yes,
but you can't warm up with a.
But your neck ain't.
But you can put the hood on your head.
What?
He missed the whole point.
The hoodie is a
What are you
long
looking at me
sleeve
for
hoodie.
to defend you for?
Huh?
Because
Why you-
whether you
I don't
know it or
want your
not,
help,
you're his
Chump.
best friend.
I don't even want his help. I'm just trying to get him in here.
I don't know. I heard that I've been pulling the wool over his eyes for years, and I'm not really his friend. I'm just using him.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's the
was
user.
that a comment?
Yeah, I was one of the
Before we got
comments.
disabled?
Yeah.
Somebody said that.
I got to think
Yeah,
about
said
that.
you don't
one.
know.
There may be a little bit of truth to that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought.
might
Probably
be
is
a-
true.
It might be a little bit
I
of
got to
truth.
find
to
that person.
Oh yeah. So before we wrap up, yeah. So everybody watching this, well, you're watching on the Jeff Mayweather channel, but if you're listening to it, subscribe to the Jeff Mayweather channel on YouTube, because the Mayweather channel, we don't have comments. We haven't had comments for a year. We didn't disable them for recent events. Go join the Jeff Mayweather channel so you can listen to podcasts like this, and you can call Jeff names and me names and all that kind of stuff. Give him our death threats.
Am I still getting them?
Well, what they do is they go over, the ones that find out that the other channel has comments will come over there and comment.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome. We welcome that.
So, Caleb, you're a world traveler these next couple weeks. What's on the agenda?
Not a whole lot. Like I said, I'm really looking to start getting back in the gym, and I've been active. We've been moving around, staying healthy, but want to get back in the boxing gym. And but this coming up Saturday, Jordan will be reporting on FS1 PPC show.
Nice. Jordan
And then,
Platt
yeah.
back in action.
Yeah, got our first pay-per-view in this last year. When was that?
We got like 5 minutes left. Come on over, Jordan. Sit over here and get on. You want to?
She don't have to. She don't want to.
She doesn't want to.
She don't want to. I know
She's
she don't.
camera shy, believe it or not.
Yeah. All right.
In Nashville, do they say the yolk of the egg is white or the yolk of the egg are white?
Depends on who you're talking to.
You. Is
The yolk of the... No.
the yolk of the egg is white or the yolk of the egg are white?
It's yellow.
Oh my goodness.
Gotcha.
What kind of milk does a cow drink?
No. Wow.
What kind of milk?
Caleb, why are you looking at me like that? Should I say the one here's what I did to Caleb the other day. And now he's going to start doing it to everybody because everything that he does that's funny comes from me. He left my house and he walked down the driveway.
Hey, well, I mean, you ain't never gonna get you no show.
Killed me.
And he walked down the driveway. And I said, Caleb. So he walked back up the driveway. And as soon as he came back to the door, I said, if I wouldn't have called you, how far would you have been? I made him walk all the way back down.
No, I walked back up there and he just said, have a nice night.
Oh, yeah, was that the one? Okay.
I had sat down in the car and everything. And his wife was dying laughing. She's just as evil as she is. Just as evil. She was dying. I was like, what the hell
We
are
only
you
do it to
laughing
the people
at?
we love.
Man. Yeah, they got me good.
Hey, I had a great, Jody, you're not going to like to hear this, a great compliment about Jeff Mayweather today.
I don't like it.
I know you don't. I was having lunch with Jonathan Banks, of course, the former national boxing champion, did very well as a pro, now turned trainer. He said there was a handful of trainers that Emmanuel Stewart, rest his soul, used to get nervous about trainers in the opposite corner, and Jeff Mayweather was one of them. When he knew Jeff was coaching someone, he made sure that everything was 100% right for camp. How do you like that?
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a big
He
compliment.
said, he said there was only a handful of trainers that Manny ever was really concerned about the opposite corner being
You sure he didn't say Roger?
No, he said Jeff.
He said me, chump.
You don't even... When did you go up against Stewart?
With Bragmov.
Yeah.
And Klitschko.
Yeah. Klitschko won that fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously he didn't have too much to be worried about.
He did. He said he made sure that everything was extra tight.
Did you know that he beat Duran twice?
He did. He telling another Amir joke.
He did, Caleb.
For real?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
He's,
Tony-
I think, the only man
Tony
to beat...
Duran.
No, Tony Duran.
Tony
Yeah.
Duran.
Does not
Why,
matter.
Jeff, why do you take that
Not-
shit? No, seriously, why do you
Not
take it?
complimenting
Wait a
him.
second. And it's funny. Every time he say something about Duran, I always think about Roberto Duran. For real. No. Not for that reason. Because I was in Panama, right? And this guy said, oh, get in the picture with him. And I'm like, okay. I got in the picture with him, and Duran was one of the people that, one of the fighters that I've always wanted to take a picture with. And the guy just took the picture, and I never got the fucking picture. I was so mad. I'm still mad.
So a guy took a picture of you with your hero, and you didn't know who it was?
No, I didn't know the guy. But, I mean...
You didn't chase him down for the picture?
I asked him, he said he was going to give me the picture.
It's probably before they had cell phones. It was probably one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is it, 35 millimeter?
Had to email it.
I never seen the guy after the fight. Because I think Celestino was fighting there that night.
Mm-hmm. What's Celestino up to these days? Is he free?
Yeah, he's free.
He is?
He's out. He's out now.
Oh, he is out.
Yeah.
Speaking of pictures, well, we'll go around the table here. Give me a couple of guys that you would, if you saw, you'd say, I want to take a picture with that guy.
Every single time I'm around Mike Tyson, I want a picture.
Yeah.
Every single time I'm around him.
You see him all the time, though.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Every single time I'm around him, I still want a picture with him.
Oh.
Anybody
He
else?
was that much. Caleb Plant.
Caleb. I took one, but he gives me the evil eye all the time, so I'm kind of scared to ask.
Mm.
So that's it. Just gonna go with Tyson. Seriously?
Mike Tyson. Like today, anybody? I mean, I would have loved to have gotten one with Ali. I kicked myself in the ass that I had the opportunity to be around him once or twice, and I never did, and that was crazy. But no, Mike Tyson to me.
Anybody that's still with us?
Mike Tyson is the dude I want a picture from. I like James Toney. I got to pick with him though. But there's a handful of guys for sure. I'm a boxing fan,
Yeah.
So
What about you, Dolly
I really
Parton?
love boxing.
Oh, absolutely, Dolly Parton. If I was in Pigeon Forge, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I don't
in
know what
Tennessee.
that is.
It's where she lives.
Oh.
Yeah. See, us Tennesseans know about that.
Oh, she's from Tennessee? Oh.
They just put me in
She
the
gonna
what
be
is
in
it
the-
called?
Huh?
She been being a playboy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Athletic
really?
Hall of Fame with Pat.
Oh, wow.
You know Pat Summit?
Who?
She's like one of the
Coach
most
for.
winning.
She just passed, right? In the last. Didn't she?
Yeah.
Aren't you
But-
only in the
Basketball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you only in the Hall of Fame after you retire?
Not the coaches. Coaches
Oh.
can be able to learn. For me, doing media, I'm around a lot of the guys, but
Dan Rafael.
it's kind of weird because you don't want to be like doing media and then like, hey, can I get a picture? The one I did was Sugar Ray Leonard because I didn't know if I could get an opportunity with him again, so I got him. Of course, Ali, like everybody. Hearns, being from Detroit, I had to go with Hearns. Yeah, and I got one. I got one with all of them. Yeah, Tyson. But yeah, those three probably be the biggest.
Do you
for me.
remember when I took a picture of you and Tommy Hearns? No, me, you, and Tommy Hearns. Do you remember the caption? I caught so much shit over it. I put me with one of the best middleweights in the history of boxing and Tommy Hearns. And I got so much hatred inbox shit from people hating me. That was a few years ago.
I did that the other day when I took a picture with Roy Jones. I put 2 goats on there, and I got
my
yeah.
God.
Jeff.
You a real goat. Fucking
Billy Goat.
yeah, big.
Who would you want a picture with?
Um,
It's, by the way, it's picture, not picture.
That's a picture.
Oh,
In Tennessee,
Oh,
it is.
shit.
Picture.
picture.
That's what I said. Picture.
No, you say picture.
Do you know what
Let
you
me
do in North Carolina? Do you know what you do with the light switch? Do you know? Do you do?
You turn it off.
No, you mash it. Hey, or the gas pedal. Hey, mash the gas. That's what they mash. I'm like, you don't mash. That's what they say. It's really weird.
Jeff, who do you want a picture with?
I would probably say
Duran,
Of course
obviously.
not.
Tony?
Yeah. No. Probably Michael Nunn. He was
Oh,
he was
wow.
actually one of my favorite fighters.
He's doing a
And,
bunch of stuff with Pat Miletich now. if you
Is
ever-
he?
Yeah, they're always that they're doing some kind of stand-up show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite fighters. But also, of course, like everyone else, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I actually had plenty of chances to take pictures with him, but I was too scared to ask him.
Really?
Yeah.
He's the only man, the only person in history that when he passed, a person that I've never met that when they passed, I cried. Like that was huge to me.
Big loss.
Yeah, he was.
All right, man. Let's wrap this thing up.
On a
Caleb,
great note, Caleb,
what's the
what an honor to have you today,
Yeah,
sir.
we appreciate it. Anything that you can tell us about what's coming up with you, and then do the social media stuff.
Really can, don't have too much to talk about right now. I'm waiting to see who wins and who loses. If we can't get a unification fight or a big name fight. And so just stay tuned and, follow me on Instagram at Caleb Plant.
Can you say silk 5 times?
Silk, 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 silk.
What do cows drink?
Water.
Hey.
So you can't get people that are around you enough now, Amir.
Yeah.
We're all onto it.
Quick-witted.
Yeah,
Stop it. That's 'cause I probably got you before.
Now
Hey, wait,
now
we
you
need
go
to see-
wait.
make him do- how could you balance, Caleb?
No,
I got a picture of that.
Now you go, now
I have
you
a picture of
now
that.
Now you gonna have Caleb out there telling these corny ass.
Oh, no,
jokes.
he does. No, he does. No, he tells me to my face they're corny, and then he gets them with everybody there. The balance test.
He's mad that he's 0-2 today, that's all. 0-2.
Yeah, you ain't getting nothing in today.
This is probably shit he gets from like his daughter, his oldest daughter. He sees like some stuff she sees on.
She
And then
loves
he says,
it.
And then he tries to pass it on to
She does it now.
girls.
Everybody's
Yeah,
like, come
she
here,
see it
come
on
here. And then
both
she's like, okay, bye.
The balance test is good, though. The balance test
Balance
is
was
good.
great.
That's a good one.
And I got you in your Gucci flip-flops.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, socks and slides.
Mayor, what's up with Badu?
Badu's great, man. He just got back from Dubai. Big business deal out there. We did, thank God. We got a date coming up.
Inshallah.
Inshallah is future, God willing.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah is thank God.
Bless you.
Alhamdulillah that he big good deal out there in Dubai. We got a big fight coming up, May, June-ish. Vidal signed a massive deal with
Saw
My
that.
Protein. Yeah. big deal. Probably one of the biggest deals I've ever been a part of. But great one there. We've got a couple of new guys. We have some exciting things happening.
And if people want to talk trash about you, Team Abdallah
Always.
on Instagram.
Always welcome to. Thank you very much. Appreciate the love and the hate.
All right. I'm on Pro Boxing Insider. I know you guys want to hate on me, do all the time, so you can do it there.
Pro Insider Boxing, you said?
Pro Insider Boxing, yes. Or Pro Boxing Insider if you're not dyslexic. Jeff?
What?
What?
So confrontational. He just
No, it's just Jeff has
saying
a
to say bye.
love-hate
Hey, man.
relationship with Jordan.
I'm the black guy.
Yeah.
Why are you so racist?
I know.
No, really, why are you so racist?
Because I'm Palestine.
All right.
On that note,
Jeff Mayweather,
Elaine's
follow
kicking us
myself. And also follow Jordan Hardy, man. We appreciate it, Caleb.
Jordan Plant.
it's Jordan Plant.
What did I say?
Hardy.
Oh,
No, but that's
sorry.
her handle. It's Jordan Plant.
Jordan Plant. Sorry.
It's Jordan Plant.
All right. It's Jordan Plant. That's right. All right. We'll see you guys next week.